There's a moment almost every Canadian hits, quietly, privately, where you stop and think, how am I putting in more effort, earning more money, carrying more responsibility, and somehow saving less than I expected? It doesn't happen all at once. It builds slowly. Maybe it starts when your paycheck goes up, but your bank balance doesn't, or when your mortgage renewal suddenly costs hundreds more each month, or when groceries, gas, childcare, and basic expenses don't just creep up, they jump. Or maybe it hits you late at night after a long work day when you finally sit down to check your accounts and feel that sinking sensation. I'm working harder than ever, so why does it feel like I'm standing still? And here's the truth. Hardly anyone says out loud, it's not because you're irresponsible. It's not because you're bad with money. It's not because you're not trying hard enough. You can do everything right. Save when you can, avoid waste, try to stay disciplined, and still feel like you're slipping behind. Because the financial world you're living in today is completely different from the one your parents lived in, and even different from the one you entered as a young adult. Costs changed faster than incomes. Debt became more expensive. Housing became more demanding. Expectations grew heavier, and the old advice you were taught never evolved with the times. So if you feel like you're pushing harder with less to show for it, there's a reason. And today, we're going to talk about what's really going on so you can finally stop blaming yourself and start making decisions that actually move you forward. Hi. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm the founder of Boss Budget Labs. I help Canadians make sense of their money, reduce financial overwhelm, and build long-term plans that feel realistic, not perfect, not rigid, just practical for the world we're actually living in today. And if you're watching this because you're frustrated, because your paychecks are bigger, but your savings aren't, because you feel like you should be further ahead by now, you're not alone. And you're not imagining it. Canadians across every age group, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, are telling me the exact same thing. I've never worked harder, but it's never felt harder to save. And that's not a personal failure. It's a sign that the old rulebook no longer works in the modern world. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this is happening. 5 major reasons outside your control, and more importantly, what you can do to take back control. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-world money advice. There are 5 major reasons Canadians are working harder but saving less. None of them are about discipline. None of them are personal flaws. And once you understand them, you can start building a plan that actually works. Let's walk through each one. Reason number 1, your income went up, but your cost of living went up even faster. This is the biggest quiet shift happening across the country. Even if your salary has climbed over the years, your essential expenses have climbed faster. Groceries, gas, phone bills, utilities, insurance, childcare, home, repairs, school activities, healthcare costs. Most Canadians don't realize how fast inflation compounds until they look back and wonder why their budget feels tighter despite earning more. It's not you, it's the math. A 3% raise doesn't help when your cost of living rose 8%, 10%, or even 20% in key areas. The solution? A flexible spending system, not a rigid budget that adjusts with real-time inflation instead of pretending your costs never change. Reason number 2, housing has quietly taken over your entire financial picture. For most Canadians, housing is the biggest monthly expense, and it has changed dramatically. Higher mortgage rates, higher rent costs, higher property taxes, bigger repairs, higher insurance premiums. Even people who bought years ago are feeling the pressure. Many Canadians today spend 40 to 60% of their take-home pay on housing. That's not sustainable, and it leaves very little room for saving. Housing isn't just an expense anymore, it's a lifestyle force that shapes your entire financial reality. The solution? A financial plan built around your actual housing costs, not outdated rules like keep housing under 30% that have nothing to do with today's economy. Reason number 3, you're supporting more people than any generation before you. This is the one almost everyone feels, but few people name. You're not just covering your own life, you're often covering kids' activities, school costs, childcare, rising groceries, aging parents' needs, your own retirement savings, debt payments, increased housing costs, and all at once, this sandwich generation pressure is real. You are being asked to financially support two generations at the same time, something your parents and grandparents rarely had to manage. And of course, your savings feel squeezed. Your responsibilities have doubled, but your income hasn't. The solution? A priority-based plan that helps you build stability step by step, not trying to solve everything simultaneously. Reason number 4, debt has become more expensive than ever. Even if you haven't changed, your habits, your debt has changed underneath you. Credit card interest that used to be 12% to 15%, now it's 19% to 29%. Lines of credit that used to be cheap and predictable, now they're double, sometimes triple. Car loans are longer, mortgage renewals are heavier, student loans and personal loans cost more to carry. You're not paying more because you're doing something wrong. You're paying more because borrowing is pricier than it has been in decades. And higher interest means less of your money can go towards saving. The solution? A strategic debt repayment plan, one that reduces interest costs without draining your savings or leaving you financially exposed. Reason number 5, you're using financial rules that no longer match today's world. This is the one that causes the most confusion and the most guilt. For decades, Canadians were told things like, save 10% of your income, keep a small emergency fund, buy a house as soon as you can, RRSP and a pension will take care of you. Retirement planning starts at 60. But here's the reality. These rules were built for a different financial world, one where housing was affordable, one where incomes rose consistently, one where debt was cheap, one where families had more support, one where living costs were lower. You weren't taught how to navigate today's environment because today's environment didn't exist when the old advice was created. The solution? Updating your entire financial strategy to reflect modern pressures. Higher costs, higher debt, higher taxes, and longer lifespans. So what you can do to take back control, once you understand what's actually happening, you can start making changes that work with today's financial landscape, not against it. Here's where to start. Number 1, get clear on your real numbers, not the numbers you had years ago, your current reality. Number 2, build a spending system that adjusts with life, not a restrictive budget. Number 3, straighten your emergency fund. Liquidity is confidence. Number 4, prioritize savings intentionally. RRSPs, TFSAs, and non-registered accounts all play different roles. Number 5, plan taxes ahead of time. This alone can add years to your retirement savings. And number 6, stop navigating this alone. Today's financial world requires structure, not guesswork. The frustration you're feeling isn't personal, it's structural. The financial world changed, and most Canadians were never shown how to adapt. But once you understand the forces working against your savings, you can finally put a plan in place that actually supports your life, not one that leaves you feeling constantly behind. You deserve clarity, you deserve structure, and you deserve a financial plan that works in today's world, not yesterday's. If you're ready to take control of your finances and start building real wealth, book a free call with my team using the link in the description below.